Get ready, we're taking you from a frozen pig to the most beautiful thing you will ever eat. We're cooking a whole hog.
What we got to do first is we got to take little piggy out, and then we're going to clean it up a little bit. We're going to season it, we're going to inject it, we're going to butterfly it, which is what we have our hatchet and hammer for. What we're going to do is we're going to start out by putting the hatchet right on its spine and then just chop it. And what that'll do is it'll start to split that spine, and as you can see here, we just put it right on there and start going. And once I get it, so now we're at this point where we're wide open. Now I've got our pig butterflied out. So now I've trimmed him up a little bit, and what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take a little water. I'm going to wash him down, just kind of clean him up a little bit. Kind of why I brought some extra water jugs with me, just for this purpose. And we'll kind of wash him down a little bit. Get him cleaned up a little.
That is right.
One of the things that I've learned with doing whole hogs, and you know, you got to learn the hard way sometimes, is that you need a lot of salt. You know, it's a 75-pound pig, so you need a lot of salt, and it's got to seep through everywhere. So we're going to salt it real heavy. I read once where the idea is you want to salt it to where you think you've put too much, and then you're about halfway. So what I found is for this size pig, I'm going to use pretty much the whole thing. Just salting and salting and salting. And then I'm going to put some Creole seasoning on it. You can use whatever your favorite brand is. Today we happen to have some Zatarans because that was what was on sale. And we don't mind saving a little bit of money. Oftentimes I'm going to use Tony Chachere's. That's kind of the house blend at my house. So we're just going to cover it a little bit here with some more seasoning. So this is my injector setup, and you can see that I've used it a bit, in that I've got a little tape there because I got a tear in my hose. I need to find some surgical grade hose to replace it with. I haven't quite got to that point, so what I have to do is hold the duct tape to keep it sealed. But what we're going to do here is, this is going to feed the injector, and we're just going to inject our whole pig with this apple cider. What that's going to do is it's going to give it a lot of moisture on the inside. Back here are our hams. We want to keep them moist. We don't want to let those dry out. That's our number one concern. So that's a big piece of our meat right there. And you can see on the table, come back to this side, you can see where it's starting to even push some where it's just shooting out of there, because it's still a little bit frozen in some of these parts. So it's going to be a little bit longer on the cook probably than we had planned, but we'll be all right. So we're going to get the hams. Up here's the shoulders and the butts. Like I said, we're just going to try to put as much liquid into this bad boy as we can. We're going to inject everything up and try to keep it moist. We're going to try to cook this about 6.5 hours before we get it pulled. And if we get that 6.5 hours, this whole thing will pull. We won't have to put a knife to it at all. So you can see we've almost got the whole thing in, and it's probably about done. Probably close to being ready to box him. So what I'm gonna do next is, we've got a lot of the seasoning and the salt that's come off, so I'm going to go ahead and give him another dousing with the salt and the seasoning. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put this in the box. This is our Cajun Microwave. This particular brand comes from an outfit in Louisiana, in Marksville, called the Crawfish Guy, and they make this nice box. We went ahead and lined it with aluminum several years ago, which is, you know, a dozen pigs ago, so it's ready to be relined. So what we're going to do today, we're going to take this grate, we're going to cover it with foil, and we're going to lay some foil down. That'll help us to kind of keep it clean, makes cleanup a little bit easier on the back end. And then we're gonna put the pig belly side up. So, all right, now we've got it in the box. Everything you see that's on the foil covered grate, we're gonna go ahead and finish off with some more of our Creole seasoning, get it good and flavorful. Get all these parts where it'll just really soak in as it cooks. Use the whole container here, use the whole thing of salt. Now the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cover with foil, just so that we can protect it a little bit from the direct heat that it's going to see coming off the box. Because the box is going to have the lid and the fire is on top, and that heat's going to be right there next to it. So what we're going to do is cover it down with some foil, just to keep it from scorching too much, burning. Don't want it to burn. So there we go. So what we've got is a Bluetooth thermometer probe. Okay, probe 1 is going to be down here, and probe 4 is going to be up here, and we're about 76 degrees on each. And there's the magnet base. So one of the ways that we start our charcoal is a little technique I learned online. I'm going to soak some cotton balls in some 90% isopropyl alcohol, let soak in, and then they'll burn for about 5-6 minutes. That'll be a good way to get the charcoal started. Go ahead and start with however much is in this open bag. That's a good amount. Okay, so what we're doing now is we've got the pig in the box, we've got the coals burning, so we've got heat in the box, and right now our box is somewhere pushing around 300 degrees internal temperature of the box. I want to keep it a little lower than that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work the coals a little bit away from where my heat is. I got a little bit more heat on the shoulder end, which is the head side, which is up here. I'm going to try to bring some coals down a little bit and move them a little more into the middle. I really don't want to keep coals in the middle for too long because that's where the ribs and the loins and the belly is, and I want to keep that from overcooking. So I'm trying to get my box stabilized, my temperature stabilized, and it's getting close to where it needs to be. So we should be in good shape any moment. One of the things that you can do if you start to get too high on your internal temperature is you can vent your heat a little bit if you need to. Let a little of the heat out, let it build back up. And we'll be doing this throughout the day for the next 6 hours. So what we're going to do now is we're going to flip the pig. It's been in for about 4 hours, 4.5 hours. Temperature's been real haywire today, but we think we're still all right. So what we're going to do is we're going to lift the lid, we're going to move it to the side. We're going to take the pig and we're going to just flip it over onto its belly. We're going to score the skin so that that fat underneath the skin will render out and it'll crisp up that skin. We're going to go another probably 2.5 hours, depending on what our internal temperatures look like a little later. And I think we're in good shape. So we're going to flip it now. We're going to score that skin. That fat's going to render. That skin's going to crisp up. It's going to brown. It's going to get hard and brittle, like crackling. And when we get done, when we pull it, we're just going to be able to pull that meat. We won't have to put a knife to it. Only time I ever need to put a knife to it is if I want to cut the head off to save it. I did a pig 4th of July for a lady, and she wanted the head left on the table in her dining room as a display to show that she had a whole pig. I was like, yes ma'am, we'll take care of that.
Did you put an apple in its mouth?
With the apple in its mouth. Now for tailgate, we're not bothering with all that. We're just gonna cook it up, pull it, get it all nice and ready to eat.
Hey, come out.
All right, you're gonna have to get one side at a time. You're gonna lift it, clean it, get your fingers under, then get away from it, and watch that grease. It's gonna be hot. You'll get a finger under it. Yeah. And 5 more. Yeah, got it? All right, onto the table. There we go. Hey!
There we are.
We're alright.
Better than the pig, I guess.
I'm a lot better than this pig.
Pig's happy. He's smiling.
I guess, yeah, true. He does look happy, don't he?
I'll be alright.
Thanks for watching our video. We hope you enjoyed it. We sure did enjoy eating it. And we'll catch you next time.
Yay, bacon.
Do it at all.
Good morning, good morning. Oh, he got,
Good morning.
got some.
Morning.
I'm
going
gonna see what
on?
he doing over here.
Prepping our pig.
And you gonna put him on what grill? Oh, you got
him in that box.
Oh
Yep.
man, shooting him up, huh?
Yeah. Gotta inject them.
Oh yeah,
You want them to be good.
tender and
Yep. He's gonna go about 6.5 hours.
how about that?
Yeah.
I'll
Get
be
our
back.
injector going, and I'm gonna show you that in just a minute. Oh.
That would do it.
That's a flat tire for one.
Yeah, don't drive off of it, dude. You're gonna bend your
Yeah.
rim.
Yeah. Somebody just hit the fork.
Somebody just hit the forklift and blew their tire.